Waking up at night to pee isn't just annoying, it's a red flag your body's stress hormones are misfiring. A Mayo Clinic study found this sleep disruption raises your risk of memory loss, insulin resistance, even falls. But 3 overlooked nutrients may help if you catch them in time. I'm Dr. Hinohara. Let me show you what most people miss and how you can gently restore safety to your nights. Waking up 2 to 4 times a night isn't just tiring, it's biologically stressful. Each interruption spikes cortisol, weakens memory pathways, and creates inflammation in the bladder lining. Most seniors think it's just aging, but what if it's a signal, not a sentence? 1. Vitamin D, the muscle whisperer. Do you remember the last time your body let you sleep, all the way through the night? For many of my older patients, that kind of rest feels like a memory from another life. But what if one of the culprits, quiet and overlooked, wasn't the bladder itself, but something far upstream? A gentle hormone with power over your bones, your mood, and even your bladder's ability to rest. I'm speaking of vitamin D, often known for its role in bone health. But there's another side of this nutrient seniors need to know, its ability to calm the bladder's muscle system. Let me explain. Inside your bladder wall is a group of smooth muscles called the detrusor. This muscle is responsible for contracting when it's time to release urine. At night, that muscle is supposed to stay relaxed, quiet like the rest of your body. But when vitamin D is deficient, those muscle cells become excitable. They contract early. The result? A false sense of urgency. A body that wakes you up not because it has to, but because it thinks it must. In 2019, a study published in International Urology and Nephrology followed 1,429 seniors. Researchers found that those with low vitamin D were 54% more likely to experience nocturia, frequent nighttime urination. Even after controlling for medications and prostate issues, the correlation remained strong. In my clinic, we saw this pattern time and time again. But one case stayed with me. Harold, 72, was a retired carpenter. Strong hands, good sense of humor, but exhaustion in his eyes. I get up 4 times a night, he told me, and I can't keep my balance in the morning. I'm afraid I'll fall. We tested his vitamin D. It was low. I suggested a gentle protocol, 800 IU of vitamin D3 with dinner, daily. That's the time seniors absorb it best, especially when paired with healthy fat. We made no other changes. After 3 weeks, Harold came back smiling. I wasn't napping in church anymore, he said. That's when I knew something had changed. Why does this work? Vitamin D acts on receptors in the bladder wall that help regulate calcium flow, a kind of molecular conductor calming the bladder's orchestra. When D levels are sufficient, those muscles receive the signal, rest now, the night is yours. But I must say this clearly. If you take medications for blood pressure, calcium, or kidney disease, talk to your doctor first. Vitamin D is powerful, but only when used wisely. Let me ask you, have you had your vitamin D levels checked this year? Especially in the winter months, many seniors go deficient without knowing. Sometimes the first step to sleeping better is reminding your body it's safe to sleep at all. 2. Magnesium, the calm down switch. There's something subtle that happens after age 60. It's not just physical, it's neurological. Your body stops filtering urgency the way it used to. Signals that once waited quietly in the background now leap forward, shouting louder than they should, especially at night. And this is where magnesium comes in. A mineral many of us forget, but one that plays a key role in regulating the bladder's communication with the brain. You see, magnesium is more than just a muscle relaxant. It's a neural buffer, a calm-down switch for the entire nervous system. It controls how easily nerves fire, how strong their messages are, and whether or not those messages are interpreted as emergencies. When magnesium is low, the bladder's stretch receptors, tiny sensors that monitor fullness, start to misfire. They whisper almost full, but the brain hears go now. The result? You wake up again and again. But when magnesium levels are restored, those false alarms quiet down. This was shown in a 2020 meta-analysis published in Magnesium Research, which examined multiple trials involving older adults. They found that daily supplementation with magnesium citrate led to 40% fewer nighttime urination events compared to placebo. That's not minor. That's a full extra cycle of deep sleep, protected. Let me tell you about Dolores, 68. She cared for her husband through a long illness, and during that time, her own health was pushed aside. I'm used to broken sleep, she told me, but now that he's gone, I still wake up 2 or 3 times, and I'm so tired I forget where I put things. Her labs showed low magnesium. We began a simple plan: 250 milligrams magnesium glycinate, taken 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This form is easy on the stomach and better absorbed than magnesium oxide. But it's not for everyone. If you have kidney disease or take diuretics, talk to your doctor before starting. After 10 nights, she noticed something subtle. My dreams came back, she said. After 3 weeks, she was sleeping through. Not every night, but more than she had in years. I stopped dreading bedtime, she told me. That was the real change. Why does it work? Magnesium interacts with NMDA receptors, like a dimmer switch for nerve signals. It quiets the overstimulation. It tells the bladder, you're safe. We're resting now. And so I ask you, how often do you wake up? Not from discomfort, but from noise inside your own body. Maybe the problem isn't urgency. Maybe it's just a nervous system looking for peace. 3. Vitamin C, the bladder's repair crew. Sometimes healing isn't about stopping signals. It's about rebuilding the surface that receives them. That's the role of vitamin C, a nutrient many of us associate with immunity, but one that plays an essential silent role in bladder health, especially as we age. Let me explain. Your bladder is lined with a special layer of tissue called the urothelium. Think of it like a garden hose, strong, flexible, and smooth when healthy. But over time, through inflammation, medications, infections, or even just age, that lining can become thin, irritated, and cracked. These microscopic cracks don't bleed. They don't even always hurt. But they do send signals, and the brain hears them as urgency. This is where vitamin C becomes more than an antioxidant. It becomes a repair crew. In 2018, researchers from the Journal of Urology studied 812 adults over 60 and found that those with lower vitamin C intake had significantly more symptoms of frequency and urgency, especially at night. The likely reason? Poor collagen synthesis in the bladder lining. You see, vitamin C isn't just about fighting colds. It's required for producing collagen, the scaffolding that keeps tissues strong, sealed, and quiet. When C levels are restored, those little cracks in the bladder lining can begin to heal. The nerve endings calm down. Urgency fades. That's what happened with Tom, 74. But I didn't meet Tom directly. I met his wife, Marion. She was his caregiver. And when she came in, she looked more tired than he did. He wakes up 4 times, she whispered. And I wake up 5. Tom's bladder tests were normal, but his diet wasn't. Processed food, little fruit, and no supplementation. We started slow, 500 milligrams of slow-release vitamin C with lunch, not at night, to avoid any acid-related reflux. Note: vitamin C can increase risk of kidney stones in some people. Always discuss with your provider, especially if you've had stones before. In 2 weeks, Tom was waking just twice. By 6 weeks, Marion said something I won't forget. For the first time in months, he didn't need help getting up. He just slept. And she smiled. Because sometimes, healing the body means restoring rhythm to the home. So I invite you to reflect. Have you ever assumed bladder irritation was an infection, when maybe it was just inflammation, whispering through a worn-down lining? Your body remembers how to rebuild. You just have to give it the right tools. There's a certain silence in the room when a senior sleeps through the night. Not the kind of silence that feels empty, but the kind that feels whole. Like the body, after so many years of warning and worry, is finally willing to rest. And that's what this journey is really about. Not just the bladder, not just sleep, but a relationship with your body, with your aging, with your safety. One of my patients told me something long after his symptoms had improved. He said, "I didn't realize how tired I was until I finally slept." And it struck me. How many of us are carrying weariness we've never named? Because we've gotten used to it. We adjust to waking, to fatigue, to carrying each day a little heavier than the last. But what if aging isn't about getting used to decline? What if it's about learning to cooperate again? Because when you give your body what it truly needs, a calm signal, a quiet muscle, a strong tissue, it listens, it responds, and it heals. If you've been waking up multiple times each night, ask your doctor about testing your levels of vitamin D, magnesium, and vitamin C. These are not just nice to have, they are foundational, especially in winter, especially after 60. Start small, 800 IU D3 with dinner, 250 milligrams magnesium glycinate before bed, 500 milligrams slow-release vitamin C with lunch. Track how you feel. Track how you rest. And if this video brought you comfort, insight, or hope, please consider subscribing to our channel. Here, we don't chase youth. We honor wisdom, we support healing, and we build strength, not in the gym, but in the rhythm of your everyday life. Until next time, rest well, and know that healing, even now, is still possible.